On the opening track, No Way Sit Back, you highlight the lack of representation of marginalized people in the media. And I remember back in the 80s hearing, I think it was either Al Sharpton or Jesse Jackson talk about how marginalized people of color were back then in the 80s and lacking representation in the media. And it just caught my attention when I heard you say that. And it was very revealing for me at the time, and I had to step back and think, you know what? He's right. You don't see positive images of people of color back then. And then eventually, shows like The Cosby Show came around, and that started to change gradually. But what are some changes that you would like to see today that will affect life 20, 30 years from now?
Oh my gosh. Sorry, I just woke up. It's just a heavy question. Can I skip that one for now?
We can come back, absolutely.
Okay, good.
We'll do something simple. So, is there a preset genre that you label your music into? Like if somebody comes up and says, "Oh, what kind of music do you play?"
I guess like when I'm just right off the bat, I'm just like, it's like indie folk rock. I'm just trying to get right to the point. It's just like, you're not gonna like this.
If somebody's who only into classical,
like,
hears that, they're
popular.
like, "Yeah, they write you off right away."
just rip the Band-Aid off.
But it's an opportunity for them to try something different too.
Yeah, for sure. Like I don't know, like just random people will ask, all the time, and I'm like, it's a question that just like rolls around in my head, like, what do I say to these people that really only listen to the radio, or you know what I mean? Like they only listen to like maybe pop music or something. How do I describe my music to them? And so I guess like when I really break it down, it's like, yeah, there's like folk aspects of it, but I'm not like, I think I'm like singing about different things than people, and I'm like, and even though it's like maybe sometimes experimental, like I'm also like, I also like do like accessibility in a way with melodies. I really love melodies, so I don't know, I just like break it down where it's like we're like rock music, but we're not like and like we play around with time signatures and key changes and like harmonies, so it's just like we just try to play with all of the elements, and like I like to have like a balance of beautiful sounds but with also like really noisy sounds.
I love the noisy sounds.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's common for anybody to just kind of want to get that quick classification to see if your music is something they want to look further into and listen to. But it's also stifling because you can be so much more than just one silo of music. And I think that's what's really cool about And the Kids is you're not just a cookie cutter band. You do other things and experiment.
Yeah.
So you're from the Northampton area, right?
Yes.
Has that been beneficial or a hindrance? Is it a hub for people searching for new exciting artists and a great place to play, or is it oversaturated with competition of other bands that are new and exciting?
Well, I wouldn't say it's oversaturated as like New York City per se.
Right.
But yeah, no, it's a great place to live. And when I kind of first started doing music, our like mentor at the Institute for the Musical Arts was like, Jenny, you can't just like keep running away from like your life. You have to like stay in one place, and then stuff will come. You know what I mean? Like you can't. Because I was like just like traveling and hitchhiking around the country. I was just like a crazy teenager. But so I was like, all right, fine. You know what? Screw it. I'll stay in Northampton and I'll just like make a band. And it was like so good because it's like such a great place to tour out of. Because there's so many small cities so close by. So you could just go for a weekend to like 3 different places, come back home.
Yeah.
But it is a great place. People do want new music here all the time. There's new college students every year, and it's like oh wow, yeah, I guess you haven't heard of me, like you're new. you
Right.
know, like it's a small town, but it's like there's new people all the time.
That's true too. Yeah. Do you collaborate with a lot of new artists, or do you meet other bands that you really take a liking to?
I do find really cool bands around here, but I don't collaborate as much as I would like to. I was just in New York City, and saw some great people and great friends, and I was just thinking, man, if I lived here, I could just play with people all the time, you know?
That would be cool.
That would be cool. So, I don't know. It's always on the table. We're thinking about moving to LA, actually, but
Oh no.
now that I just went to New York, I'm like, I want to go to New York.
I love that. I've noticed a lot of new music is coming from very young artists, and they're bringing a new life to indie music.
Yeah, I love that. I
And
noticed that too.
I saw you talking about Snacks on the Road, and it reminded me of another band, Weekend Friends.
Yeah.
And they were talking about snacks on the road, and it was pretty cool.
Sorry, say that again. The truck went by.
When I was talking to Weekend Friends, I know that they focus a lot on what snacks they're having when they're on the road. So I think it just comes as part of being young and starting out in the business, and that's one of your priorities when you're thinking about snacks.
I love that. I think everybody's thinking about snacks, though.
You noted in an interview that you've experienced sexism, like showing up at a show and people see you carrying in your equipment and they think you're just helping out, your boyfriend who's in a band.
Yeah, we almost didn't get let into a show because they really didn't believe us. And the opening band had to be like, no, they're playing.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's hard to believe that that's still happening, but then I also think I saw Joan Jett when she was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
If you haven't seen that speech, I highly recommend you looking it up. But she talked about how she had to deal with that back, early on 70s and 80s, and it had to be much harder back then.
Oh my God, I can't imagine. I really can't imagine, especially, yeah.
But more and more women artists are getting into the mainstream now, so hopefully it's chipping away at that sexism.
Yeah, I think progress is like leapfrog, where you kind of make it pretty far and then something sets you back, but just a little bit, not all the way back to where you were. And so just progress is slow, but life's always moving forward.
Glory, Glory, is that one of your older songs, or is it on the latest?
Yeah, that's an older one.
It's going to be every holiday season I do a annual Jesus show, and I play songs that kind of mention some deity in it. So I'm going to definitely be playing that one this year.
Oh, especially around the holidays, people like to drink.
Yeah.
Around family.
What is the message of the song? What is the basic theme?
I wrote that song so quickly that I didn't really know what it was about. So maybe a lot after. I still don't really quite know.
Open to interpretation?
Well, the different parts mean different things, I guess. I've been picking up for milk part is like when you spill milk. It's when you like spill milk and you try to pick it up, but you've already spilled. It's like in a conversation, if you've said something that you're not supposed to say, and then you try to pick it up but you're still talking, and so you just keep messing up. It's really just about everyday little screw ups and tough life.
I love picking the brains of songwriters and artists.
We don't know. We have no idea what we write about.
That's when I'm listening. I don't usually listen to lyrics, but when I do, I'm like, is that what they meant? Or are they just writing a bunch of nonsense, making it sound good to a melody?
Well, that's the part. It's like if a melody comes to me, it usually comes with lyrics, and I can't understand where they come from. I just have to accept them, and then later on, I'm like, oh my God, this was going on in my life, and I like wrote this song, and I had no idea. It's kind of like that.
Hmm.
So it's not completely nonsense. It's just like, we just don't know. We're just like gonna roll with it, because you're not gonna like, I'm not gonna fight it. It's coming to me.
Yeah. I can't wait to see you. You're going to be at Dream Picnic Fest with Rubble Bucket, and it's going to be a great day for a festival.
I'm gonna wish it lasts 3 days.
Did you go to the one last year?
No, I haven't been to one yet. No.
Okay. This is going to be my first too.
Cool.
When you're traveling and on the road, is there a place you kind of look forward going to because you know there's a local dive bar or a restaurant that has your favorite comfort food?
I'm getting it sort of, yeah, I feel like the more places I go, the more used to places I go. But sometimes we go to different venues in a different place, and so we have to find new little spots. But also it's cool because people give us tips. Like other bands will be like, oh, you're going to Philly, go to this place. But I can't think of any offhand right now. I just, when you say what places do you look forward to going on the road, I'm like, Whole Foods. We just wake up and we go to Whole Foods.
Oh, yeah. The grocery store?
Just for breakfast. It's so easy. Everybody can get what they want.
Good quality food there. All right, Hannah. I appreciate you taking the time to talk with me, and I can't wait to see you on September 21st at the Dream Picnic Fest, and hopefully many, many times after that.
Sweet. Yeah, thanks for chatting.